Let me be direct with you. You're not broke, you're not financially cursed, and you're not destined for a life of just getting by. What you are is blocked. You've been sold a story, a lie that says your bank account defines your worth, and that the amount of money you have is the ultimate measure of your success. But I'm here today, on this day, June 8th, 2025, to tell you a different story, the real story. It was never, ever about the money. It has always been about your beliefs, your mindset, and the emotional home you live in every single day. The scarcity you feel isn't in your wallet, it's in the narrative you've been running on repeat. Think about it for a moment. What are the stories you tell yourself about money? Do you believe it's hard to come by? That you have to work yourself to the bone just to survive? That rich people are somehow different? Or that you don't deserve more? These aren't facts. These are just beliefs. Ideas passed down from your parents, your friends, and a society that thrives on keeping you in a state of fear and wanting. True financial freedom doesn't start with a budget or a new job. It starts with a decision to challenge every single limiting belief you hold about what's possible for your life. The game is rigged, but not in the way you think. It's rigged in your favor if you only learn the rules. The most powerful force in the human universe is the power of belief. What you believe, you become. What you focus on, you feel. If you focus on lack, on what's missing, on the bills piling up, you will live in a state of lack. You will literally attract more reasons to feel that way. The breakthrough comes when you realize that your financial situation is a lagging measure of your internal state, not the other way around. You have to change the cause, not just the symptom. So let's make a deal, you and I. For the next few minutes, suspend your disbelief. Forget everything you think you know about your financial reality. I'm asking you to open your mind to a new possibility. The possibility that abundance isn't something you chase or earn. It's something you decide to become. It's a state you can access right now, regardless of the number in your bank account. This isn't about wishful thinking. It's about strategic thinking. It's about changing your focus, your language, and your physiology to align with the wealth you were born to experience. Are you ready to make that shift? I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Far from it. I remember a time when I was living in a tiny 400-square-foot bachelor apartment in Venice, California. I was broke, lonely, and feeling completely overwhelmed by life. I was washing my dishes in the bathtub because my apartment didn't have a kitchen sink. My focus was entirely on what I didn't have. I was obsessed with my problems, and because of that, my problems got bigger. I was living in a state of absolute scarcity, and my reality reflected that story perfectly. I was trapped in a cycle of worry and struggle. The shift happened one day when I was at my lowest point. I realized that my strategy wasn't working. Focusing on my pain, my lack, and my fear was only creating more of it. I made a decision, a powerful, life-altering decision. I decided that I would no longer let my circumstances control my state. Instead, I would use my state to influence my circumstances. I committed to living in a beautiful state, no matter what. I started focusing on gratitude for what I did have. The roof over my head, the ability to learn, the drive to help others. This wasn't a one-time fix, it was a daily practice. That decision was the pivot point of my entire life. I stopped asking, why is this happening to me? And started asking, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to grow? I shifted from being a victim of my story to being the author of my destiny. I realized that abundance wasn't about getting something from the outside world. It was about generating a feeling, a certainty, from within. I didn't need to earn abundance. I needed to choose it. I started acting as if I was already wealthy, not in a fake or arrogant way, but with a posture of certainty, gratitude, and a commitment to adding value to others. From that moment on, everything changed. Opportunities started showing up. People were drawn to my energy. My financial situation began to transform, not because I found some magic money tree, but because I changed the internal magnet that was attracting my results. I unlocked the power that was inside me all along by changing my focus, my language, and my emotional patterns. This is the power you have right now. You can make that same decision. You can stop being a thermometer, simply reflecting the temperature of your environment, and become the thermostat that sets the temperature. Scarcity is a virus of the mind. It's more than just worrying about next month's rent. It's a pervasive belief system that infects every area of your life. It's the voice in your head that says, there's not enough to go around, Not enough money, not enough time, not enough opportunities, not enough love. It's the feeling that you're always one step behind, that you have to hoard what you have because you might lose it tomorrow. This mindset forces you into a defensive crouch, making you see competition everywhere instead of collaboration, and problems everywhere instead of possibilities. It's an invisible prison. Let's get specific. What does scarcity thinking sound like? It sounds like I can't afford that instead of how can I afford that? It sounds like I'll be happy when I have more money, which chains your happiness to a future event that may never come. It's the fear of investing in yourself, whether it's a course, a book, or a gym membership, because you're afraid to waste the money. It's jealousy when a friend succeeds, because your scarcity mind believes their success somehow takes away from your potential. These thoughts are the chains that keep you locked in a cycle of lack. This belief system doesn't just block money, it blocks life itself. When you believe in scarcity, you become hesitant and fearful. You play not to lose instead of playing to win. You say no to new experiences because of the perceived risk. You stay in a job you hate because the fear of the unknown is greater than the pain of the known. Scarcity shrinks your world. It makes you focus on survival instead of thrival. It convinces you that your resources are finite and that you must protect them at all costs, which ultimately prevents you from ever expanding them. But here's the truth. Scarcity is a conditioned response, not a reality. The universe is abundant. Think of the air you breathe, the infinite stars in the sky, the endless creativity of the human mind. The resources are there. The opportunities are there. The wealth is there. The only thing that is truly scarce is the belief that there is enough for you. The first step to breaking free is to become aware of these scarcity thoughts, to catch them, question them, and recognize them for what they are. Old, outdated software that's no longer serving you. Now let's flip the switch. What if abundance isn't a destination you arrive at, but a posture you adopt? What if it's a way of standing, thinking, and feeling in the world right now? An abundance mindset isn't about pretending you have $1 million. It's about knowing with absolute certainty that you are enough. It's the deep, unshakable belief that you have everything you need within you to create the life you desire. It's a feeling of fullness, not emptiness. It's understanding that life is happening for you, not to you, and that every challenge is a gift in disguise. Imagine for a second that nothing is missing from your life. Seriously, take a deep breath and consider that you are already whole, complete, and lacking nothing. What would change? You would stop chasing and start attracting. You would stop needing and start creating. An abundance mindset sees opportunity in every problem. It celebrates the success of others, knowing that there's plenty of success to go around. It gives freely of its time, its energy, its resources, not as a transaction, but from a place of fullness, knowing that the more you give, the more you receive. This posture changes your entire physiology. A person living in scarcity walks hunched over, with shallow breath and tense muscles. They are physically closed off. A person living in abundance stands tall, breathes deeply, and has a look of certainty in their eyes. Their energy is expansive and inviting. They make bold requests. They take calculated risks. They invest in their growth because they know they are their greatest asset. They operate from a place of trust, not fear. This isn't just a mental shift. It's a physical transformation that broadcasts a new signal to the world. You can cultivate this posture today. Start by practicing gratitude for what you already have, no matter how small it seems. Focus on what you can give, not just what you can get. When you go to a restaurant, don't just look at the prices on the right side of the menu. Look at what you truly desire and trust that you can create the resources for it. Act from a place of enoughness. This is the internal shift that precedes all external change. Abundance is not a number in your account. It's the richness of the state you live in. So where do you begin? Forget trying to change the world overnight. The journey to abundance starts with one decision and a few simple, powerful actions. The first step is to get brutally honest with yourself. What are your limiting beliefs about money? Write them down. Money is the root of all evil. I'm not smart enough. It's selfish to want more. Expose these lies to the light of day. Once you see them written down, you'll realize how ridiculous they truly are. They are just stories, and you are the author. You can write a new story starting today. The second step is to reclaim your worth. Your value as a human being is not, and never will be, tied to your net worth. You were born with infinite value. You need to anchor this truth in your body. Every morning, stand in front of the mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and say out loud, "I am worthy of all the abundance life has to offer." Say it with conviction. Say it until you feel it in your bones. This isn't about ego, it's about reconnecting with the fundamental truth of who you are. Your self-worth is the foundation upon which all other wealth is built. Third, learn to listen inward. Your intuition, that quiet voice inside, is your ultimate guide to abundance. For too long, you've listened to the loud voices of fear, doubt, and external opinions. Start carving out 5 minutes of silence each day. Ask yourself powerful questions. What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? What is one thing I can do today to step into a more abundant state? The answers are already inside you, waiting for you to get quiet enough to hear them. Trust that inner wisdom. It will never steer you wrong. Finally, you must allow abundance in. Most people are brilliant at chasing, but terrible at receiving. They deflect compliments, feel guilty about good fortune, and sabotage opportunities because, deep down, they don't feel worthy. Practice receiving. When someone gives you a compliment, simply say, "Thank you." When a great opportunity appears, embrace it. Open your arms and your heart to the good that wants to flow to you. Abundance isn't something you have to hunt down. It's a river that's always flowing. You just have to stop building dams and allow it to pour into your life. You are not broke. You are powerful beyond measure. Now go live like it.